My uncle made my mom use her legs to hold a comb and a straw every day. She also had to lick a lollipop until it melted before she could sleep. After she learned all these memories, my uncle personally sent my mom to the Dragon King's bed. "You bastard! Let go of me." But the Dragon King turned a deaf ear. He forcefully took her. Who would have thought that in less than half a month, my mom's belly would be growing a bump? The Dragon King was overjoyed when he found out. He immediately held a 100-year banquet in the Dragon Palace. My mom secretly rejoiced that she was pregnant with a dragon son, and from then on, she would rely on her son for honor and prosperity. But the next second, the Dragon King's cold voice came. "When the dragon son is born, I will swallow this boy to take his true dragon bloodline and help me increase my cultivation by another 100 years. My mother was determined to protect my safety. That day, she used all her remaining strength to escape from the Yellow River Dragon Palace. It happened to be the moment a blue snake was failing its tribulation, and it was covered in wounds. My mom, trembling, gave me newly born to her. Weakly pleading, she said, "I beg you, please protect my son. He is a dragon son, carrying the blood of a true dragon. Later on, he will surely repay your kindness." Before her words finished, my mother passed away, swept away by the surging Yellow River. There was no trace of her. Who would have known that the next moment, that young woman, skilled in spiritual arts, transformed into a graceful young woman. She gently cradled me in her arms. "Very well. My name is Lu Wanning, and from now on, I will be your master." That very night, she announced the news of me being the dragon son. To the entire world, folklore says the dragon rises and lives again, to climb the ladder to success. Soon after the news spread, the suitors came calling. They were like wolves smelling meat. They blocked the doors in the downpour. Some wealthy businessmen offered gold bars. Some officials brought land deeds. My master simply held me. She established an iron rule. Only Phoenix girls, Phoenix months, Phoenix-born, Phoenix-destined girls could marry him, to borrow dragon energy to change fate. Some questioned the dragon son's authenticity. By what right? How do we know? Is this dragon son real or fake? My master didn't argue. She just gently patted me. I wailed. My cry formed a layer, an invisible protective shield. The downpour stopped 3 feet from me, like hitting an invisible wall. It instantly scattered. The crowd suddenly knelt down. They were constantly praying, hoping their own daughters could be chosen. The master went through layers of selection. Eventually, she kept 18 two-year-old Phoenix-destined girls. Then, the master lightly pricked my fingertip. She made them form a contract with me. She ordered them to protect me with their lives tonight. Sure enough, that night, thunder cracked. A once-in-a-century storm fell gently. The Yellow River's water, like a frenzied murderer, violently crashed against the embankments again and again. The earth trembled. Mixed with the wind was a heart-stopping dragon's roar, but they followed the faint dragon's energy. Fortunately, with the 18 Phoenix girls' brave protection, I slept soundly until dawn. The next morning, the master sent those girls away, and she explained to their families, "From now on, these children will surely become pillars of society. Your families will also prosper." But this good fortune only lasted 18 years. 18 years later, one of you must be an actress. Marry the pattern. If it's fake, your energy will dissipate. Great disaster. As expected, it was as master said. These 18 Phoenix girls who signed a contract, the one who got lucky the fastest, was just on the way home from school, casually picked up a lottery ticket, and actually won martial arts directly. The ordinary public family became top-tier rich overnight. The one who got lucky the latest, also 3 months later, received a notice of demolition from their hometown. The demolition compensation was calculated in 8 figures. All 18 families all retaliated overnight, full of glory. But master didn't show any joy, until the day of my 8th birthday. The originally calm sky, betrayed without any sign, helpless. The wind chimes hanging in the courtyard were wildly shaking. "Shubai, come quickly." Seeing this, master's face changed drastically. Her tone was more urgent than ever before. "Today, you're turning 8. The true dragon bloodline is beginning to awaken. Dragon energy can't be hidden anymore. These past 8 years, I used my own cultivation as a guide to maintain the balance between Phoenix energy and dragon energy. Now, I can't hold on any longer. I must immediately go into closed-door meditation and sleep. For the future, master can't protect you anymore. You can only walk it yourself. For the next 10 years, you need to go to this address and stay at a Phoenix girl's house every year. Spend time with them. The aura of connected fate, it can confuse the Dragon King's senses, so he can't find your exact location. These sunglasses aren't just for hiding from others. They're also made from my refined spirit, an item of the wind. They can firmly suppress the unusual vision in your eyes. You must pretend to be blind, but you can't let anyone, especially those 18 families, see the strange vision in your eyes. Once the dragon energy appears, The Dragon King will come immediately. Then no one can protect you. Wanyang. Her figure gradually became transparent, finally turning into a wisp of green smoke, and disappearing in the wind. For days, I put on the sunglasses. I tightly clenched the 10 tomb tablets engraved with the Phoenix Girls' addresses in the palm of my hand, and walked out of the house alone. I randomly picked a tomb tablet. According to the address on it, I traveled all the way to the city. I was close to the door of that family's house. I deliberately slowed my pace, pretending to be a blind child asking for directions. I inched my way to the courtyard gate, and gently pressed the doorbell. The one who opened the door was the girl's mother. I hurriedly took out the token from my bosom, the Emperor's Jez blood essence artifact, and quietly pleaded with her to allow me to stay for a year. First, the girl's family, seeing the token, and the dragon's aura connection, were still quite polite to me, but as time went on, they saw I was alone, and after learning that my master had long since disappeared, their attitude grew colder day by day. Their eyes were full of disdain and contempt, the most unforgettable of which was, when I was 12 years old, I was staying at the home of the 6th Phoenix Girl, by Ninger. At that time she was already a 14-year-old girl. She was extremely beautiful. Her peach blossom eyes were like strummed strings. Her face showed the worth of 1,000 gold pieces. She was proud and looked down on everyone. Ever since I crossed the threshold of her house, she never looked at me directly. She just saw me as an annoying, blind child. She bossed me around, treating me like a lowly dog. She wouldn't let me touch any of her things. She wouldn't share a room with me, and she forced me to kneel every day, to wash her feet and warm her bed. One time I was a little slow, and she became furious. She grabbed my head, and shoved it into the foot bath. She forced me to drink her foot water. I struggled with all my might, and she kicked over the foot bath, sending the stinking dirty water pouring down on me. I was soaked to the bone. When the year was up and I left that day, I had barely stepped out the door, when she gave up the fireworks. All that dazzling and noise, like countless icy needles, they stabbed right into my heart. At that moment, I felt abandoned, hated, and full of grievances. And these days of leaving home, they flashed by for years. But I never neglected myself. In these years, I not only mastered everything my master had taught me, but I also awakened the dormant true dragon bloodline within me. However, my master repeatedly warned me not to reveal any of my strength. Otherwise the Dragon King, who wanted to devour my dragon veins, would come looking for me immediately. Even though I possessed extraordinary abilities, I had to pretend to be a defenseless shrimp. This feeling of frustration and forbearance tortured me for a full decade. When I finally reached 18, and moved into the last household, the Su Yunny family, the blessing of 18 years of fortune had already made the Su family one of the real estate giants. And Su Yunny himself, she's also a popular teen idol in the entertainment industry, worshipped by thousands. But she doesn't treat me like a person. For the sake of excitement, she brought a rich kid fan home directly. She made out with him in front of me without a care. But the blind guy is still sitting there. Who cares about her? Just a piece of wood. Can't even see. What's there to fear? Come on. Foul language and a pungent smell filled the entire room. This is right in front of me, putting a humiliating green hat on me. But I can't move, can't reveal a single thing. My short 3 seconds became the most agonizing time of my life. Finally, the 1-year deadline arrived. These are the 18 Phoenix Girls, the last one to protect my life. If I want to live, before midnight tonight, I have to pick someone from these 18 people to get married, to use the marriage energy to extend my life. My wife is in a dragon play. I silently returned to the old house. The yard was overgrown with weeds. The wind chimes were rusty, but in the main hall, a set of bright red groom's clothes were neatly placed on the bed, which my master had prepared long ago. I put on the wedding clothes and sat in a chair. I waited from day to night. 18 Phoenix Girls. Not one came to fulfill the marriage contract. Suddenly a familiar voice rung outside the door. My little tree has grown up. It looks so good in groom's clothes. I turned around in surprise. I saw my master slowly walk in from outside the door, almost transparent. Her figure was also somewhat illusory. Master, why'd you come back? I was worried about you, so I came back to check on you. He smiled and reached out to straighten my collar. I know. He forced himself out of seclusion. For me, he doesn't care about his life. Master, they won't come. Who says? Master will just call them over. But no one wants to marry me. If they were smart, they should be kneeling, begging to marry you, to repay the great kindness they owed you back then. However, if no one really wants to, then you'll have to get the dragon shoes back yourself. Don't embarrass Master. I don't understand the deep meaning of Master's words. I just feel my face burning. Master looked at me. The pity in his eyes almost overflowed. He was silent for a long time. Then he suddenly shoved a pouch into my hand. I was just about to open it, but my master pressed my hand down. This pouch is just in case. If no one is willing to marry you, opening it might save your life, but don't open it unless absolutely necessary. I'm afraid you can't handle it. Before I could ask more, he turned and floated up into the air, fingers forming a spell. 18 paper cranes flew out of his sleeve, scattering in all directions, along with my master's form, evolving into flowing light and disappearing. I held the pouch, sitting nervously in the main hall, listening to the sound of engines gradually approaching outside the door. 18 top-of-the-line luxury cars, lined up like giant beasts, stopped in front of the gate of my dilapidated little garden. The car doors opened one after another. 18 graceful women got out. As expected, they were full of charm. They all had graceful figures and clear complexions. But what was strange was, each of them was holding a black plastic bag that was bulging. I don't know what was inside. Take it off. 9 red crow's feet. Jade Fan Shizu. I remember her. When she was a kid, she pretended to be blind. I tricked her into the middle of the fast lane. If I hadn't reacted quickly, I would have been crushed into meat by the big train a long time ago. Bai Ningbing was wearing a black leather jacket, with a white short crop top underneath, and a black leather skirt, a smile on her lips, like she was there to watch the show. But I will never forget the days when she forced me to give her a foot wash and massage. Su Yun was wearing a blue court-style gown, noble and dignified, with her own fairy air, but in front of me, gave me the green hat. This kind of woman, I absolutely wouldn't choose. Yu Qiushue wore a cream-colored fishtail skirt, a fishtail gown, exquisite and alluring. Although she also despised me, she never caused me any actual harm. Her appearance also looked like the typical type that brings good fortune to her husband. Otherwise, choosing her would also be okay. Just when I was wishfully choosing, Yu Qiushue opened her mouth to mock. Mr. Su, your legs are really long. Huh? Why don't you marry Uncle Chung and be a decoration? That's just right, to be a crutch for our cripple. Yu Qiushue sneered, also hinting at a disparagement towards Uncle Chung. Your eyes are quite beautiful, though. I think they're perfect for leading the way for that blind man. A sense of humiliation pressed down on me like a tidal wave. These Phoenix girls, one by one, were glamorous and bright, but their hearts were so vicious. Unexpectedly, Bai Ningbing suddenly angrily interrupted them. Enough. Have you guys lost your minds? Because of her dragon blood, we are where we are today. How can you talk about her like that? We were clearly betrothed to her since we were kids. It's her right to choose one of us to marry. I was stunned. Did I misjudge her? That miss who took pleasure in humiliating me, is she actually soft-hearted under a tough exterior? One of them disdainfully retorted. We've each protected her for a year. She'd have been dead long ago without us. The favor she owed before should have been repaid long ago. It's not about making amends. Exactly. If you want to marry, then marry. Don't include us in it. Bai Ningbing blurted out. I'll marry then. I do. She came over and quietly pushed open the door. Her voice was sickeningly sweet. Uncle, I greet you. Uncle, I greet you. Are you there? I'm here to greet you. I pretended I'd just heard. Fumbling, I opened the door. I stumbled outside, to appear more like a blind man. I even deliberately tripped over the threshold, and fell to the ground in a sorry state. Laughter erupted in the courtyard. Bai Ningbing, however, supported me, with a gentle tone. Bai Ningbing, are you all right? Are you hurt? My heart warmed. Perhaps I really could marry a good wife, even though we've had so much unpleasantness in the past. But if her nature isn't bad, and she's willing to marry me, I will definitely try to love her. I smiled and raised my head, but unexpectedly, through my sunglasses, I saw the nasty smirk on her face. She said in a soft voice, right? I'm willing to marry you. As she put on her gloves, she took one out of a small box behind her, toad covered in boils, and brought it in front of me. Right? Have a bite of the meat. Have a bite of the meat. Maybe you'll become. My mind went blank. The sounds in the yard suddenly stopped. It was completely silent. I looked around. The Phoenix girls all had expressions like they were enjoying the show. Not a single person was there to remind me. I fantasized about Qiushue. She just silently retreated behind the crowd, watching coldly. I pretended I hadn't noticed anything. Holding the toad with a look of anticipation, I brought it towards my mouth. Just as my lips were about to touch the toad, my fingertips tapped silently, shot out a pure yang dragon energy, and blasted it into the toad's body. The dead toad instantly revived. It opened its big mouth and let out a weird cry. Then it turned and struggled. It jumped towards Bai Ningbing's face. Bai Ningbing screamed and dodged. The toad fell to the ground. It hopped away into the grass. I pretended to be alarmed. What was that sound? Ningbing, why do I hear a toad croaking? Bai Ningbing was still shaken. We continued the wedding ceremony. The toad's gone. Bai Ningbing panicked. She struggled wildly. Disgusting appearance. Let go of me. You dead shrimp. You smelly beggar. Who wants to marry you? Let go of me, you. I got angry. 18 years of suppressed rage. At this moment, almost overwhelmed reason. The Dragon Clan's uncontrolled release. Bai Tongbing's face was ashen, unable to move at all. Suddenly the sky was covered with mist and clouds. A dragon shape faintly appeared in the clouds. A thunderclap struck down. I instantly sobered up. Damn it, just now in the heat of the moment, that wisp of dragon chi leaked from my fingertips. Was actually sensed by that Dragon King. I immediately retracted my spiritual power. Released by Ningbing's hand. Unexpectedly he actually thought I was scared by the thunder. His arrogance immediately flared up again. He raised his hand and slapped me. His nails on my face drew 3 streaks of blood. A blind man. You don't even take a leak and look at yourself. See if you're worthy. I just said I'd marry you. I was just kidding. You actually believed it? I suppressed the anger in my heart. I said in unison, just now you said it yourself in front of everyone. You said you'd marry me. Bai Ningbing sneered. She took 2 steps back. You want me to marry you? Alright. You hurt me. Kneel down and kowtow to apologize. Then I'll consider it. The crazy women perked up when they heard her say that. Immediately they were energized. Exactly. Kneel down and apologize. Who do you think you are? You still want to pick and choose? I took a deep breath. I suppressed the surging force. Violating the contract. Aren't you afraid of your fortune being exhausted and disaster befalling you? Under the circumstances I was shocked. A drop of blood. You still want to pester us for a lifetime? Everyone comes from families with assets exceeding 100 million. Even if I return the dragon blood to you, our family won't decline. Bai Ningbing heard this, as if she suddenly remembered something. She smiled and from the ground, picked up that black plastic bag, and threw it towards my face. Isn't it just dragon blood you want? Here you go. The bag wasn't tied tight. It rolled twice after landing and scattered. I instinctively looked down. Inside was a cotton pad stained with blood. My hands trembled. I couldn't suppress my overwhelming anger. At the same time, the sound of crackling and popping arose. The crazy girls all screamed. The black plastic bag was thrown towards me. Cotton pieces stained with blood. They dropped all over the ground with a crackling sound. They're still laughing like crazy. Laughing so hard they're falling over. She's blind. Can't see. Hurry up. Pick it up. Throw it in her face. From now on, she's just a blind garbage picker. Back then, I gave them precious dragon blood. An opportunity to become rich and successful. Now they're using this kind of filth to repay my dragon blood. This humiliation is more biting than all the insults combined. They are looking down on me, corroding me who's in such a sorry state, with sneering, cold smiles on their faces, as if they'd already seen my embarrassment. But they don't know that through the gap in my sunglasses, I've already seen clearly every single one of their faces. Each of your hard candies is turning black. You're doomed. Your time is almost up. Look at your hard candies. Dark energy is surging. Disasters are clinging to you. And you're still here? Gloating? Do you really think this karma you've incurred can be easily bought off? Suddenly, a fierce wind arose. The sky darkened. A pressure far greater than before, more terrifying, like a mountain range of 10,000 feet, crashed down from the sky. My whole body sank. My bones creaked under the pressure. Every inch of muscle was tense. My blood surged. I'm all too familiar with this energy. It's here. That old dragon's energy, the Yellow River Dragon King. He finally came, drawn by the dragon's energy. Tonight, nobody's getting out alive. I'm done with these clowns. I yanked hard with my fingertips and opened the pouch my master left. Inside was a blood-red marriage certificate. The edges of the paper faintly glowed gold. Clearly, it had been treated with gold dust. One book contained my birth details. The other had neat, elegant handwriting, inscribed with another girl's birth details. My heart gave a jolt. These details were cold and isolated, not the traits of a phoenix girl. Instead, they carried a hint of softness. Just as I was stunned, a golden light suddenly ripped through the dark night sky. A surging pressure poured down from the heavens. A cold, domineering voice pierced through the clouds. Trying to cause trouble? I'll see who dares to be unruly tonight. Bai Ningbing and the others, who were about to leave the courtyard, suddenly had their knees buckle. They all fell to their knees with a thud. I looked up sharply. A wisp of smoke sat on the fingertips, a figure in a clean robe. The woman in the robe fluttered under the moonlight, beautiful like a dream. It was Master Lu Wanning. Her body was ethereal. The translucent outline was difficult to see clearly. Her beautiful eyes scanned the group of trembling women. Her voice was laced with 3 parts playfulness and 7 parts domineering. What's the matter? You took the benefits from the Lu family? And you want to just leave? Do you really think the Lu family has no one? Fairy Lu Wanning. It's not that we don't agree. She's blind. How can we marry her? Besides, it's hard to say if she can even survive tonight. Are we supposed to become widows before even getting married? The other women echoed her. Before the words had faded, Lu Wanning's beautiful eyes turned cold. She lightly waved her long sleeves. An invisible gust of wind stirred up the dust. The paintings slammed into the group of women. They all screamed and fell out of the trees. They stumbled around and ended up on the ground. But they didn't dare to show their anger. And I clearly saw, Master spirit body shook slightly after casting the spell. It was about to become transparent, like a candle in the wind. My heart tightened. I quickly stepped forward and fell in front of her. I said coldly, "Enough. You don't want to. We don't want you either. Master has already found the 19th destined Phoenix girl for me. She will be far better than you all. Even if you beg me on your knees in the future, I won't even look at you." As soon as I said this, the white scale soldiers and Su Yunyan looked at each other, and immediately showed the same expression. They didn't want to marry me, the blind man, anyway. Now that they had a way out, they couldn't wait to get away. After throwing out some sarcastic words, they stumbled out of the small courtyard. The roar of 18 luxury cars' engines cut through the night. The convoy, like dogs with their tails between their legs, drove away without looking back, fearing Lu Wanning would return and cause them trouble again. I quietly activated my dragon eyes. Golden magical light swept over the direction they left. As they stepped out of the courtyard gate, each person's life palace rapidly darkened. The borrowed dragon tendons' luck dissipated. Thick black chi wrapped around them like poisonous snakes. This was a sign of great misfortune for breaking faith. The small courtyard returned to peace. Lu Wanning leaped down, landing steadily in front of me. The sharp look in her eyes just now when it met mine instantly transformed into an unbreakable tenderness. Cool fingertips gently wiped the dust from my cheek, with its familiar delicacy and doting. "Silly boy, you still know how to care for your master." I mumbled, my throat dry. "Master, I was just speaking out of anger. The birth date on this marriage contract." She leaned in close to my ear, her breath sweet as orchids. "There's no such thing as a 19th girl. Are you scared?" "I'm not scared." I looked up, my eyes resolute. "Even if the Dragon King swallows me, I wouldn't beg those corrupted women with painted faces." Lu Wanning smiled, her eyes curved, but the smile hadn't faded yet. A crystal lightning bolt flashed across the sky. A torrential downpour crashed down. Her face was serious. She pulled me inside. She locked the doors and windows. She held my cheeks in her hands. Her eyes were so gentle they could drip water. "Since they don't want to marry you, then your Shifu will marry you." Okay. I was struck like lightning. I stared at her blankly. The birth dates on the marriage certificate were actually my master's. That venomous fate. Could it be that my master wasn't a fairy, but a snake demon? How? Didn't you like master? No, absolutely not. I shook my head frantically. My heart pounded like a drum. There's no time. The Dragon King is nearby. To survive, get married now. Without a word, she pulled me and we knelt before the simple hall. 390 bows fell. The moment our foreheads touched, a sense of security spread throughout my body. From now on, I am no longer your master. It's your woman. Quick, give me a drop of dragon blood. The master's voice carried a hint of urgency. My heart was racing. Without thinking, I bit my finger. Blood flowed freely. She couldn't get there in time. She held my fingertip in her mouth. Her warm lips pressed against my skin. A tingling sensation instantly coursed through my body. I stiffened. I turned my head, not daring to look at her. Dragon blood entering my body. Her soul seemed to solidify a bit. After carefully bandaging my wound, she turned and looked out the window. Amidst the lightning and thunder, a dragon's roar could be heard. Her gaze grew more serious. "Husband, are you ready? We're going to the bridal chamber." My face is flushed, my heart is racing. I nodded and followed. In the dim room, I trembled and reached out. Gently, I embraced her slender waist. The skin I touched with my fingertips was cold, compared to my burning palms, forming a stark contrast. So warm. Her voice was languid and hazy. She leaned against me completely, as if about to melt halfway. My Adam's apple bobbed. Couldn't help but ask, "Master, you offended the Dragon King for me? Do you know?" She slowly looked up, a hint of cunning flashing in her eyes. Her fingers gently traced circles on my chest. "Silly. I'm not that great. 18 years ago I failed to draw the dragon, and the cold poison lightened my body. Day and night tormented, until I met you. Only by holding your dragon form, can my body feel a trace of warmth, a hint of courage, a touch of loss in my heart." But I didn't understand. She suddenly pushed me away. With nimble hands, she lit the oil lamp. I was stunned, standing there. She looked at me, serious, and said, "You are still mortal now. Your cultivation is too weak. If we continue like this, I fear you won't be able to bear the karma of a master-disciple marriage. Speak." She pulled out a small bag of 5-colored rice from her bosom. "This rice is made with my essence, mixed with dragon chi essence. 1 grain a day. Not only can it stabilize your physical body, but it can also slowly nourish the dragon child, so that you, without revealing yourself, gradually awaken the power of the dragon child. When you recover those 18 Phoenix girls, they owe you dragon blood. Only then can you be reborn. When that time comes, you can come find me again." She turned and walked out of the room. She brought back a paper figure identical to me. "She'll use it to shield you from misfortune. Can protect you for a year. Within this year, you must have those Phoenix girls marry you. Otherwise, the Dragon King will eventually take your life. As the instructions fell, her body swayed. She nearly fell. Quickly caught her. I saw her face was pale. Her soul became more transparent. She forced open the coffin just now, and also absorbed your dragon blood. I can't hold on any longer. Before the words finished, she transformed into a streak of green light, and went into a deep sleep, leaving only a faint voice. No answer remained. Little master, get out. The Dragon King's locked onto this area. If we don't leave now, it'll be too late. Crimson lightning. Golden lightning strikes the center of the courtyard. The old house shakes violently. Tiles fall like crazy. Because of Master's magical support, the terrifying dragon's pressure comes like a mountain collapsing. Presses on me, I can barely breathe. I stuff the book into my pocket. I go out the door in the pouring rain. I ran 6 miles in one breath. My lungs were burning with pain. Looking back, there was a fire in the distance. Master's old house was swallowed by lightning and fire. Under the call of the lightning, a huge black shadow appeared in the clouds, rolling and soaring. The Dragon King has really come. 18 years of hiding and running. I thought today was the end of suffering, but I didn't expect that I would have to continue to run away in the future. Could it be that, in my life, he has to marry the Phoenix girls to survive? Live to be 60 years old. Then he must marry 42. A crazy thought takes root in my mind. I want to end all of this. Only by destroying the Dragon King can it be done. First step is to take back the 18 Phoenix girls. The dragon blood I'm owed. 6 months later, a shop called Ask the Heart Studio opened in Jiang City. 1 divination a day. Guidance for those destined, not for 1,000 gold. I sat on the Taisher chair, playing with walnuts. A half mask hides my appearance, hides the golden dragon head in my eyes. For 6 months, relying on Master's 5-colored rice, I not only stabilized my body, but also awakened some of the dragon head's power. By relying on my divination skills, Ask the Heart Studio became famous in the old alley. Those who came were either rich or powerful. But I no longer operate. I just wait for those who owe me a dragon blood contract to come knocking themselves. Is the master in? A timid voice echoed at the door. My hand, toying with a walnut, stiffened suddenly. A cold arc curled at the corner of my mouth. Even if this voice turned to dust, I wouldn't forget it. By Ningbing, come in. I lowered my voice, feigning the indifference of a secluded master. The showy figure pushed the door open and entered. Compared to half a year ago, that paper-thin, arrogant heiress of a wealthy family was a different person. Her face was haggard. Her eyes were filled with red streaks. She was nervously looking around, as if something unclean was following her. The moment she entered the door, then with a plop she knelt on the ground, pleading with me desperately. Master, save me. I really can't hold on any longer. For the past 6 months, I've had nightmares every night, dreaming of a toad covered in boils, crawling on me, sucking my energy. The company's orders have been cancelled one after another. All the partners have terminated their contracts. The family stocks have hit rock bottom. I got hit by a flower pot when I went out. My car got a flat tire. I've tried all sorts of ways to ward off the disaster, but none of the methods have worked. It's even getting worse the more I try to fix things. I can't take it anymore. I set down the teacup. With a flick of my fingertips, 3 coins fell into the turtle's frame. With a few clicks, it tilted. I raised my hand and pushed the turtle frame in front of her. My voice grew cold. The divination won't lie. Look for yourself. This person's been a backstabber. Their blessings have all vanished. Trouble's closing in. Think about it. 6 months ago, did you do something against your conscience, something ungrateful? Bai Eniling's face went white as a sheet. Her lips were trembling. Tears just started flowing. Geng Yi was thinking about what happened, but he was still trying to excuse himself. Master, I'll tell everything. 6 months ago, there was a girl, the shrimp girl, at the old house. She was supposed to marry my parents, but she was tricked. She forced me to marry her. I was scared then. Me and my friends, we made fun of her. We gave back the thing she gave me. But I never thought. Ever since then, bad luck has stuck to me. Master, did that shrimp girl die? Then a ghost came to haunt me. I sneered inwardly. In her mouth, I became a bully forcing marriage. She didn't die. You didn't provoke a ghost. It's a debt of fortune. That dwarf isn't an ordinary person. You benefited from her fortune back then. That's how you got rich. Now, you're breaking your word and tearing up the contract. The contract backfires. Natural disasters will plague you. That toad is the embodiment of your evil thoughts. It's also a sign that the contract is exhausted and the family will decline. Another 3 months, and your foundation will be shaken. You'll end up riddled with illnesses. Bai Enibing was trembling with fear. I watched her eager expression. I deliberately changed the subject, with a touch of mockery. Bai Enibing wanted to grab a life-saving straw. She knelt forward a few steps, eagerly staring at me. Bai Enibing was stunned, totally freaked out. I felt for her, seeing her like that. Just kidding. I already told you how. Pay your debts. The disasters will go away. But she was already dead that night. I can't exactly marry a ghost, can I? I didn't answer anymore. Her eyes were troubled. Suddenly, she seemed to make up her mind. She got up and walked in front of me. She climbed onto the table. She reached out to touch my hand. A flirtatious smile appeared on her face. Master, I know you definitely have a way, right? As long as you're willing to save me. I'll do whatever you say. I quickly pulled my hand away. I felt sick to my stomach. To avoid disaster, she could actually do this to a strange man. So casual. Thinking of her arrogance back then, I just feel incredibly mocked. Don't rush. Think carefully. I'm disabled. And missing a son. It doesn't matter. I don't mind. She didn't even hesitate. Her body came close again. Full of affection. But I mind. I pushed her away and sighed. Slowly taking off the mask. Restoring my original voice. Bai and I Bing, open your eyes wide. See who I am. Chung Su Bai. How can it be you? You're not dead? She froze instantly. She wanted to run, but her legs were too weak to stand. After a long time, she suddenly hugged my leg. Poor little bamboo. Shu Bai, big brother. I was wrong. That night was Su Union. They forced me. The things I did to you when I was little. It was because I was young and didn't understand. Actually, I actually care about you. Care about me? I laughed. Care about me? Then you treat me like a dog. Care about me? Then you humiliate me in public. Watch me wait to die. She saw that I wasn't moved. She actually unzipped her jacket, revealing a sexy camisole. Her eyes were filled with a seductive charm. Shu Bai, big brother. Will you forgive me? I'll marry you. I'll wash your feet and give you a massage every day. You can make me do anything. I'll do whatever. Okay. I shook off her hand in disgust. I said coldly, cut the crap. Sign the blood contract. Within a year. Whatever I tell you to do, you'll do it. If you dare to disobey, you won't be able to handle the consequences. Bai Ningbing was silent for a long time. She wiped away her tears. Biting her finger, she signed the blood contract with me. I casually released a wisp of dragon chi, temporarily suppressing the dark energy on her. She collapsed to the ground, cold sweat soaking her clothes. Patted her face. Your next task is to gather the remaining 17 Phoenix girls. All of them. Remember, don't play any tricks, or you'll know the consequences. Bai Ningbing nodded repeatedly. His eyes were filled with fear. I understand. I'll go do it right away. 6 months later, Bai Ningbing, under the guise of a thank you banquet, invited 17 Phoenix girls to an isolated villa on the hillside. The hall was brightly lit. The young ladies, usually glamorous and beautiful, were now frowning and distressed. They couldn't sit still. I've been so unlucky these past few days. Even walking, I get hit by flower pots. My stocks have been limit down for 3 days. My assets have shrunk by half. If this continues, I'll go bankrupt. It must be that dead shrimp's doing. I shouldn't have been so harsh that day. Su Yunyan threw her designer bag on the ground in annoyance. What are you afraid of? It's just some crooked tricks. How can a shrimp turn the world upside down? Su Jixia rolled her eyes. Suspect. Give it a rest. You were the one yelling the loudest that day. Now you're playing the victim. Just then, the lights in the hall suddenly dimmed. Footsteps of high heels came from the second floor. Bai Ningbing slowly walked down in an exquisite evening gown, but stood respectfully to the side, as if welcoming a VIP. Sisters, I hope you've all been well. My voice came from the shadows. A slender figure slowly walked out. A black and white patterned knight's outfit accentuated his upright figure. A fluffy white fox fur collar made his eyes look even more cold and sharp. Holding a folding fan, a half mask covered his face. Bai Ningbing, who is this person? Su Enian frowned. Bai Ningbing ignored him. He knelt down at my feet with a thud and pleaded, Boss, everyone's here. The whole place went silent. Everyone's eyes widened. They couldn't believe Miss Bai, usually so proud, would kneel to a stranger and call him boss. I chuckled. I took off my mask. Golden dragon eyes looked at them without blinking. My fiancés, only a year has passed, and you don't recognize me? Chung Shu Bai, you're not dead. The crowd instantly exploded. Chu Xia's face turned pale. Su Yuinian jumped up like a cat whose tail had been stepped on. Bai Ningbing, are you crazy? You actually dared to collude with him? Scheming against us? Scheming? I walked down the stairs step by step. Dragon's power built up around me. Pressed down on them, making it hard to breathe. 18 years ago, you borrowed my dragon turtle to get rich. 18 years later, you publicly broke the promise and humiliated me, and threatened to watch me die. Now, it's time to return the principal and interest. As soon as the words fell, the light above fell, violently flashing, emitting a harsh electric current sound. The women screamed again and again. The person behind Nian shouted, Don't be afraid, seniors. He is Su Chongqing. Let's go. He took the lead and rushed to the door, but found that the door was still. The next second, the Yin wind blew outside the window. The closed window frame rang. The red lanterns suddenly turned into a miserable green. Countless pale faces, pasted on the floor-to-ceiling windows, crowded. They were greedily staring into the house, making strange, loud noises. This setup is called 100 ghosts for a home. I said coldly. You were hit with backlash after breaking the agreement. You are now wrapped in negative energy. You're gathered together. You've become within 100 miles. The food for the lonely souls and wandering ghosts. Without my dragon energy to guard the cliff, your auspicious bodies, in their eyes, are the most delicious snacks. The women huddled together, shivering. I had asked you for help before. You were high and mighty. Now, it's your turn to ask me for help. What kind of attitude should you have? As soon as I said this, the entire place fell silent. Su Yunyan with a few others. Those who suffered the backlash should answer. They believed the Dragon King came to bother me first. You think you're so tough calling me a trickster? The others kept watching, afraid of wasting effort, but hoping for a chance. And Bai Ningbing was suffering from the evil spirits. The family's spirit soldiers went bankrupt, directly breaking through the path of the wealthy. I was wrong. I'm willing to offer my blood to the dragon prison. I'll do anything you want. Su Yunyan scolded him for being spineless. I let out a cold laugh, turned to ashes. Tough talk. Then taste the price of betrayal. A cold wind suddenly rose outside the window. Dozens of black shadows rushed towards Su Yunyan. Cold, dark energy enveloped him. Countless ghostly hands tried to tear at him. He screamed and dodged in a panic. No one dared to help. The other Phoenix girls' swords broke in this instant. One by one they knelt down, begging for forgiveness. Only Su Yunyan remained entangled with the evil spirits, completely collapsed. I was wrong. I'm willing to marry. Please let me marry him. He cried out in pain. I raised my hand and collected the evil spirits. Looking down at the woman's abject misery, my voice was cold. I only need to marry one of you, then I can live one more year, and I can help him resolve the backlash, protect his lifetime of glory, and his family's eternal life. As for the remaining Phoenix girls, what will become of them in a year? I can't say for sure. Silence fell over the entire place. The atmosphere instantly became tense. The women eyed each other, their eyes filled with wariness and calculation. There's only one spot, meaning someone will be sentenced. Shu Bai, brother, I'm willing to marry you. Xia Yu responded first. She rushed in front of me and knelt down, clutching my leg. Her eyes were filled with longing. Choose me. I'm pure. I've never been in a relationship. I'll call you master from now on if you want. Get lost. I was here first. Another girl ran over. She pushed Xia Yu away, and also knelt down in front of me. Brother Shu Bai, my family is in real estate. We have money and power. I can give you the company, half the shares, as a dowry. Choose me. The girls swarmed around, competing to become the chosen one. Quiet, I said coldly. The hall was instantly silent. I can renew with all of you, but there's one condition. I snapped my fingers. Bai Ningbing handed me a stack of blood contracts. To me, I can help you avoid this disaster, protect your family's assets, but the dragon essence on you must be handed over. Speak. I started the live stream. I said to the screen, today, I will competitively distribute the dragon essence of the 18 Phoenix girls. To all the viewers, dragon essence in hand, good luck and smooth sailing. Just as the girls were about to sign the blood contracts, a sharp scream suddenly came from outside the window. The white ghosts that were originally surrounding the villa fled in all directions like enemies in the rain. Frantically, within seconds, they disappeared without a trace. Something's wrong. The ability to instantly repel the white ghouls must belong to an incredibly powerful individual. My heart sank. I counted the number of people in the hall. 17. One short. I'd already grabbed Bai Ningbing. My gaze was icy. Who is the 18th Phoenix girl? Why isn't she here? Bai Ningbing trembled with fear. It's Yu Qiushui. I sent a message. I made a call. She didn't respond to either. I thought she didn't want to come. Yu Qiushui. Her name exploded in my mind. Among the 18 Phoenix girls, she was the only one who didn't humiliate me. That night at the old mansion, I even considered, if I had to choose one, I wished it would be her. But she didn't come. Boom! A deep, muffled dragon's roar exploded right above the villa. The whole villa shook violently. The lights flickered. They were so scared they collapsed to the ground. The girls all hid behind me, screaming nonstop. The villa's main doors exploded open. A slender figure walked in slowly. It was Yu Qiushui. She was no longer the girl who used to shy away from people, wearing a very imposing red and black dress. Her long hair was loose. Her expression was cold. Her eyes showed a domineering arrogance. She looked up at me. Her voice was cold. Back then, my mother, it wasn't a voluntary contract. Instead, it was because of Lu Wanning. She was forced by the safety of the family. Now what right did you have to make me pay it back? Before she finished speaking, she slowly raised her hand. The air inside the villa instantly froze. I discovered with pain that the skin of the 17 Phoenix girls was turning pale. At a speed visible to the naked eye, vitality was constantly draining away. I only saw a dark, shadowy figure, coiled behind Su Yunyan, greedily devouring. The vitality in the hall. It was the Yellow River Dragon King. I finally understood. Yu Qiushue, to avoid the disaster, actually took the initiative to find the Dragon King, and reached an agreement with her. Yu Qiushue suddenly laughed. Her laughter was low and hoarse, like two voices, overlapping each other. My good child, thanks to you these nutrients are gathered. Tonight this king will swallow them, then eat you. Mastering 100 years of cultivation, a terrifying pressure slammed down. My knees went weak, and I fell to the ground, kneeling. A mouthful of fresh blood spurted out. The feeling of suppression in my bloodline made me unable to move. This was actually a father-son trap. Yu Qiushue flashed to my side and grabbed my neck, lifting me up. Dragon energy was being devoured by her crazily. A feeling of suffocation surged into my heart, and my vision gradually blurred. Could it be that I am going to die here? My mother's revenge is not avenged, and the agreement with my master is unfulfilled. I'm not reconciled. No, I did my best to rise up in secret and make a sound. Golden light burst forth from my entire body. Another force within my bloodline suddenly awakened. A massive boom came from beneath the ground. The floor exploded, and stones flew everywhere. The murky yellow river water shot up into the sky like a fountain, and slammed into Yu Qiushue, sending her flying. Amidst the waves of water filling the sky, a blurry figure slowly emerged, with wailing, vengeful spirits surrounding her. My mother, as my master said, my mother, from the moment I was born, was sealed by the Dragon King at the bottom of the Yellow River, suffering endless torment, neither human nor ghost. Now, she actually broke through the seal, and stood in front of me. Bitch, even in death you dare ruin my plans. A shadow of a black dragon emerged from Yu Qiushue's body, transforming into a gigantic black dragon, tearing wildly at my mother's figure. Even though the mother was a ghost of extreme yin, she was defeated in front of the Dragon King, who represented the utmost yang. Her figure gradually dissipated. She lost. The mother's voice pierced through the roar, saying that this calamity couldn't be avoided. She told them to give the dragon blood to the green snake. She protected you for 18 years. Now, it's your turn to repay her. I shuddered. Looking at my mother's figure about to disappear, I nodded heavily. I took out the iron and stone soul book. I shouted loudly at the Phoenix girls, who were scared stiff. What are you waiting for? Draw down the blood energy. Return the dragon blood to me. Bai Ningbing and the others had already been scared out of their wits. Trembling, they placed their hands on the blood energy. Golden blood also flew out from their brows, gathering in my palm. Golden blood also flew from their brows, gathering in my palm. I didn't hesitate to mix my dragon blood with these blood beads and inject them into the soul book. My mother's desperate scream rang out. My mother's form, completely shattered under the black dragon's claws, vanishing into the torrential rain. I screamed my heart out. My heart felt like it was being cut. The black dragon let out a earth-shattering roar. It unleashed a bolt of black lightning, crashing down on me. Just then, the soul book suddenly burst forth with blinding golden light. A cold, clear voice sounded, shaking the heavens and earth. Get out of here. A huge green snake shadow burst out from the soul book, forcefully repelling the black dragon. The green light dissipated. Lu Wanning's figure slowly floated down, protecting me. Her clothes were light as a painting. Her long hair danced, like a heavenly goddess descending. She turned around. Her icy fingertips cupped my cheek. Her eyes were filled with heartache. Silly boy, who told you to rush so much and fight her head on? But my husband has grown up. At least he won't get tricked by a girl. Master, run quickly. My heart was anxious like powder. My voice choked and hoarse. I've already saved you once. There's no need to die. Lu Wanning looked at me, suddenly smiled, smiling with unparalleled beauty. The last time I saved you was because 18 years ago, I failed at drawing the dragon. I was poisoned by cold. It was you who warmed me with your pure young body. I'm returning it to you, but this time it's different. What's different? I was about to cry. She stepped forward and cupped my face, looking seriously into my eyes. What did you just call me? Master. Wrong. Her voice was firm and resolute. Call me wife. Don't you know? They're born with silver hearts, but are also the most genuine and passionate. Once they've decided, it's a matter of life and death. The black dragon's wild laughter came. He circled in the air, looking down at Lu Wanning with contempt. I thought it was who? So it's you, this little long worm that failed the tribulation. A snake. You dare to be arrogant in front of this dragon? I'll eat you both today. Lu Wanning's eyes narrowed. She released my face. He turned around to face the black dragon. My body exploded with spiritual killing intent, moved my husband and me. On that face, he transformed into a streak of green light and soared into the sky, and collided with the black dragon. The two figures broke through invincibility, entangled in the lightning-filled sky. Each collision was accompanied by deafening wind sounds. The world changed color, but gradually, The dragon's roar became increasingly loud. Lu Wannin's breath grew weaker and weaker. A golden lightning bolt slashed across the sky. Lu Wannin, like a broken kite, fell before me, spitting blood, his face as pale as paper. Do you see? This is you. The black dragon circled in the air, his voice like thunder. A snake is just a snake. It will never become a dragon mother. My good son, you, as a true dragon's bloodline, actually desire to be with a useless snake demon. You truly disappoint me. I tightly held onto Lu Wanning. My heart felt like it was being cut. The true dragon bloodline in my body surged. A chill spread throughout my body. I lowered my head, looking at the person in my arms. I gently spoke to his pale face. Master, haven't you always wanted to transform into a dragon? In a few days, I will help you. I have always wanted his reaction. I reversed all the meridians in my body. I gathered all the dragon blood to my heart. I suddenly vomited a mouthful of hot heart blood and poured it all into his body. Lu Wanning let out a piercing scream, but it was too late. A golden beam of light burst from my body and poured into Lu Wanning's body. I can feel life rapidly ebbing away. Dragon energy completely vanishes. Deep bone-chilling, extreme cold energy replaces the old lip sores. From now on, I will forever fall into darkness and become a rare, extremely fate. And Lu Wanning, bathed in golden light, her body swells up rapidly, turning into a massive azure snake. Silver white, her claws grow beneath her belly. Hair grows behind her, of huge azure wings. Her eyes transform into clear tree pupils. Dragon horns sprout from her head. A majestic and domineering silver-white true dragon circles in the sky. At that moment, the heavens and earth change color. Dark clouds churn. Impossible. How could a snake possibly transform into a true dragon? Fear finally shows in the black dragon's eyes. Turning to flee, the silver dragon opens its mouth. A terrifying dragon's breath erupts forth. Instantly, it freezes the black dragon's form. The black dragon's body fizzled under the dragon's breath. The black scales shattered inch by inch. The black dragon let out a heartbreaking wail, but couldn't break free from the dragon's breath's shackles at all. Immediately, the silver dragon flapped its wings, displaying the power of space. It appeared instantly above the black dragon. A huge dragon claw, with the power to tear through the void, stomped heavily towards the black dragon's head. The black dragon's body instantly turned into black chi filling the sky, burned to ashes in the golden white dragon's breath, vanished with the dark clouds between heaven and earth. The next moment, colorful auspicious clouds appeared in the sky. The dragon's rhythm sprinkled down on the earth like heavy rain. Couldn't hold on anymore. My body fell backward softly. A warm breath caught me. The silver dragon quickly shrunk, transformed into the appearance of Lu Wanning. Her forehead touched mine. Soft lips floated onto my lips. A warm current surged into my body. Honey, sleep well. That was the last thing I heard. My vision went dark. I completely lost consciousness. I don't know how long it's been. I slowly opened my eyes. I was lying on a familiar bed. The sun was shining brightly outside the window. There was a letter on the bedside table, a marriage certificate, and a jade pendant with a green dragon pattern. I opened the letter. The ink had smudged on the paper. The Dragon King of Shaoyang has been eliminated. Although your extremely constitution cannot be completely cured, I now possess the true dragon cultivation. I have bound it to the dragon spirit jade pendant. As long as you wear the jade pendant, it will suppress your extremely constitution. And I must now undergo tribulation. The 18 Phoenix girls have exhausted their blood energy. They have repaid the dragon blood they owed you. I've already released them from their karmic ties. After death, we're all strangers to each other. Live well. Wait for me to return. Loving wife, Lu Wanning. My fingertips traced the words on the letter. The warm touch still seemed present. I picked up the dragon spirit jade pendant and held it against my chest, feeling the familiar warmth you sent. Felt like my master's palm. I didn't become despondent after master left, but instead, I calmed down and devoted myself to cultivation. I integrated all the skills master taught me into my dragon pearl, gradually breaking free from the constraints of my destiny. My cultivation grew deeper and deeper, almost to the point of perfection. After stabilizing my cultivation, I took the marriage contract from that year and traveled throughout the world just to find any trace of master. Finally, on the Kunlun tribulation platform, I found a faint wisp of blue light. It turned out that when master underwent the tribulation that year, faced the inevitable, deadly heavenly tribulation, he fainted to protect the human world's energy. He didn't try to survive. Instead, he chose to disperse his soul, using his cultivation to protect the Yellow River's banks, ensuring 100 years of peace. Leaving only a strand of his most core main soul, fell into reincarnation. Knowing the truth, I didn't want to live alone in the world. I just found the river god, willing to sacrifice my true dragon vein, just to exchange for a chance to enter reincarnation, to find him again. The river god was moved by my infatuation, only warned, reincarnation will wash away all memories. The soul will also be dispersed. Whether you can meet again depends entirely on fate. 100 years later, in a dilapidated earthen house in Inshan village, a thin, weak little boy rubbed his sleepy eyes. Dazed, he ran to the backyard to pee. Just reached the edge of the bushes. A series of subtle rustling sounds came. He lowered his head and pushed aside the weeds. Saw a wounded little green snake, coiled on the ground, with bloodstains on its body, weakly raised its head. The boy's eyes were clear, filled with a watery sheen. Not a trace of hostility. Instead, it looked as if it had been wronged. The boy wasn't afraid. Instead, he felt a strange, inexplicable ache of pity. In the next moment he squatted down. He couldn't explain. He just felt that this little snake was particularly friendly. When I got up in the middle of the night to pee, I accidentally got bit on my weenie by a long snake. Seeing this, I picked up a sickle and was about to chop it into a million pieces. Who knew, the next second, that snake actually transformed and spoke in human words. I recently failed to transform into a dragon and was unfortunately injured by the tribulation clouds. If you're willing to take me home and help me heal, when you grow up, I'll marry you and be your wife. I saw how beautiful and charming she was. I immediately nodded and agreed to her request. Then I put her in my pocket and secretly took her home. But I didn't expect that the next day, before dawn, the villagers came to my house with torches. Old Chen, have you seen a blue snake? That snake has become a spirit. It will kill everyone in the village. I was hiding in the covers and eavesdropping, and I was so scared that I quickly hid the snake. Unexpectedly, I hadn't even hidden it yet. Grandpa came to my room with some people. Little one, did you bring anything unclean back last night? No, I didn't. Grandpa sighed. He made me lift up the blanket. I felt suffocated. My heart was beating so fast, it felt like it would jump out of my throat, because at this moment that blue snake was hiding in my pants. Its icy, smooth scales were tightly against my skin. If Grandpa finds out about this, he'll definitely beat me to death on the spot. Luckily, after Grandpa checked everything, he didn't seem to notice anything unusual, so he took everyone away. A month later, Qing Shi's injuries were basically healed. I was originally thinking of sending him away, but he directly turned into a belt and wrapped around me. He just wouldn't leave no matter what, so I had no choice but to keep him. We played together during the day and slept together at night until my 12th birthday night. Grandpa suddenly stuck 7 copper coin swords in the yard and burned paper money. He said to me, after tonight, you'll be exactly 12 years old. You have to endure Chu Xianghua all by yourself. If you survive it, you'll live. If you don't survive, then that's your fate. Grandpa, what do you mean by that? Your fate is rare in the world. An extremely keen fate. It will appear at the age of 12. The lonely ghosts and wild spirits within 100 miles will come to snatch your body. Grandpa, don't scare me. I look at the courtyard and it's eerie, thinking that a group of ghosts will come for me. My legs are trembling. Grandpa didn't explain anymore. He told me to hide in the coffin tonight. After Grandpa left, I followed Grandpa's words and lay in the coffin. Couldn't sleep, tossing and turning. But just then, the belt on my waist suddenly lit up with a green light. A green snake burrowed into my arms, carried a faint fragrance, instantly dispelling the rotten smell in the coffin. That night, the wind howled outside. Ghosts were crying and wolves were howling. Something was clawing frantically at the coffin. But I was holding the green snake's body. I slept incredibly soundly, as if I was safe as long as it was there. The next morning, Grandpa yanked me out of the coffin. His face was ashen. Something big had happened. In the village, overnight, 6 people had died for no reason. They died horribly. Black snake scales grew on their hands and between their eyebrows after death. The villagers immediately went crazy. They all said it was the snake spirit's doing. After Grandpa found a way to send the villagers away, he sighed and told me, the 6 who died were all the people who had injured the snake back then. My heart clenched. I thought of the green snake that I spent every day with. I remember when I saved it. It had several wounds on its body. Could it be it? But I clearly all night. I held it and slept in the coffin. How could he possibly go out and kill someone? Grandpa suddenly asked me, that snake, is it you who hit it? I was so startled, I took a step back. Grandpa raised his hand and slapped me. He roared at me. I said, why do you always smell like a woman? How much longer do you want to hide this? I had no choice but to tell him the whole story, in detail, but I didn't plan on giving the green snake to Grandpa. Then he rushed into the house, searching frantically. I also hurried to search with Grandpa. I prayed that Grandpa wouldn't find him, and even more so that Grandpa wouldn't hurt him. We turned the house upside down. We couldn't find any trace of him. Grandpa's face was cold as he said to me, ghosts maybe you can avoid, but for a demon, I'm helpless. Don't bother searching anymore. Tonight, you just wait to die. Grandpa, he wouldn't hurt me. I retorted stubbornly. Grandpa didn't say anything. Instead, he took out a willow branch as thick as a thumb. He stripped off my clothes and chased me all over the room. He whipped me while chasing. He kept apologizing to the air as he beat me. He said the child was ignorant and had offended the great immortal. He whipped me for a full half-hour, until I fainted from the pain. I woke up in the middle of the night, in excruciating pain. Dazed and confused, I saw a beautiful figure push the door open and walk in. The moonlight outlined its perfect silhouette. I couldn't help but stare. "Who are you? Why are you here?" The figure didn't speak. It just gently flicked the light switch. The moment the light came on, I couldn't help but hold my breath. The person who came was actually a stunningly beautiful woman. She wore a deep purple and silver dress. Her skin was as fair as snow. Her appearance was breathtaking. She was just like a fairy descending. "She's the most beautiful person I've ever seen." I stared at her beauty. She looked at me with a smiling face. Took me a while to get it together. I stammered. Fairy sister. Who are you? Are you here to find my grandpa?" "No, I'm here for you." I was a little at a loss. "But I don't know you." "Yes, you do." The woman walked slowly to the bed. She reached out and gently stroked the wound on my body. Her eyes were full of heartache. "Does it hurt?" I gritted my teeth and said stubbornly, "It doesn't hurt." The woman smiled slightly. Her eyes were so gentle they could drip water. "I know you're in pain. I'm here to help you stop the pain." Her voice carried a kind of magic that one couldn't refuse. I nodded. She gave a lazy smile, suddenly bent over, and stuck out her tongue, and gently licked my wound. Waves of tingling sensation came from the surface of my skin. I couldn't help but exhale. That pain vanished instantly, leaving only indescribable comfort. Although my whole body ached, the joy brought by the fairy sister made me temporarily forget all the discomfort. It's also strange. Where her tongue had passed, the pain of the wound disappeared without a trace. In the end, looking at me, her voice was alluring. "Am I beautiful?" "Beautiful." I looked at her slowly, and answered without thinking. "Want us?" Her voice held a hint of seduction. My face turned red. He lowered his head, whispered, thinking, "Okay, then when you grow up, I'll marry you." I was instantly so excited I was speechless. "Fairy sister, are you serious?" "Yes, really. But what happened between us? You can't tell anyone, including your grandpa. Do you hear me?" "I hear you. As long as I can see fairy sister again, I'll do anything." Early the next morning, Grandpa looked at me, the wound of human desire. His face was ashen. "The wound healed so fast. A demon has possessed you." Before I could explain, the feng shui master, Uncle Tu, walked over. He declared, "The kid's been hexed by a monster. She'll be dead within 3 days. If you want her to live, there's only one way." "You mean a ghost marriage?" Uncle Tu nodded. "That's right. Marry the kid to a female ghost. Evil spirits clash. Find a more vicious ghost to suppress that monster. Only then can you save her life." Grandpa gritted his teeth and said, "All right, tonight we'll go to Burning Head Mountain to pick the most vicious ghost bride for the kid." He yelled loudly, "I don't want a ghost wife." "Shut up." Grandpa slapped him across the face. "Do you want to die or live? You don't get a choice in this." I got that mouth, but I married a ghost wife. I won't be able to get a wife in the future. Grandpa explained impatiently, "This ghost wife is here to help you ward off disasters. It's just a formality. It won't affect you getting a wife later. Then Grandpa has to find me a pretty one. I want to choose for myself." Grandpa was so angry he wanted to hit someone, but Uncle stopped Grandpa and said to me, "All right, tonight I'll take you to Burning Head Mountain. You pick yourself to survive." That night I went to Burning Head Mountain with my uncle. There were tombstones everywhere. We carefully examined each tombstone, looking for the women buried inside, and they had to be unmarried and of a suitable age. We paid respects to dozens of tombstones. We finally found one. The tomb of a woman who died at the age of 24. Second uncle took out an apple, light a stick of incense, said to the tomb, "Tomorrow night, at this time, at Old Wang's house at the village entrance, there will be a divine play. There is an intention to go. If the young lady is interested, then go and take a look." I've been thinking about this for several nights. In the middle of the night, second uncle finished speaking. We then got up and continued to search for the next tomb. After a whole night, we paid respects to more than a dozen tombs of women under the age of 25 who were unmarried. When we got home, the opera troupe's stage crew had already set up the stage. Just as I was nervously waiting, a woman's figure in the backstage of the opera troupe made my heart flutter. It's the fairy sister who came to my room last night, thinking about the promise between us. Even if we meet, we can't acknowledge each other. I quickly suppressed the excitement in my heart. My gaze turned to the table. The adults were all busy. I was just thinking about whether to help. A sudden sound came from my ear, like ice. "Child, do you still remember me?" It was that fairy sister. She came to my side. Her gaze fell on the table, on the white paper that wrote my birth date. Her eyes didn't move for a long time. I lowered my voice and said, "Fairy sister, I didn't tell Grandpa about us, but Grandpa said, only by marrying a ghost wife for me can save my life. I feel sorry for you. Grandpa is right. You are very good. You're a good boy. I won't blame you. Are you scared of finding a ghost wife? No, I'm not scared at all. Fairy sister, are you scared? She shook her head. I'm not scared either, right? Do you have any requirements for a ghost wife? No requirements. As long as she doesn't scare me. It would be even better if she was pretty. Right, fairy sister? What's your name? My name is Lu Luoli. Luo from Falling Water. Li from Luli. Just call me Xiaoqing. Luo. She winked at me. Old hi. You don't need to be afraid. The ghosts in the human world are really not scary. After saying that, she turned and walked towards the west stage. After the fairy sister left, Uncle Tu walked over. He didn't seem to see the fairy sister. She was staring at me. Later, those female ghosts we invited will all come to observe you. If anyone picks up this jade ring in front of you, it means she agrees to marry you. Then you can go straight to the bedroom. Uncle Tu, what are we going to do in the bedroom? Of course, it's the wedding night. I have no other choice. I don't dare to consummate the marriage. I can only wait to die. I wasn't refuting. Yeah. No matter what, it's better than losing my life. My palms were sweating from nervousness. I was both scared and helpless. It was soon time. The ghost play began. In the Jumu room, the bride in the fire, following the actors on stage. They were crying and wailing. A gust of wind suddenly blew into the yard. The stools that were scattered around the table began to move. They arranged themselves into position. I understood. Those female ghosts we summoned last night had all run away. My uncle whispered in fright, "They're here. They're going to steal the son-in-law." Immediately, I felt someone touching me all over. There was also a slight panting sound. That feeling of oppression was worse than death. Suddenly, the jade ring on the table in front of me began to vibrate along with the table. Then more than a dozen pale hands reached out towards the jade ring, which was meant to be a token of love. My heart sank. Didn't my uncle say that whoever grabbed the jade ring would be my wife? Why are there so many hands? I was thinking about the next thing, the scene where I would have sex with them. Almost peed myself. I backed away while shouting to the front, "Hey ladies, what's going on here? Kid, it means they're all into you." The sound of someone being left out echoed through the group. They stood floating in the air, beautiful in the moonlight, like a dream. "Little brother, you're one lucky guy." Suddenly, so many sisters are fighting to be your wife. I looked at those pale arms, reaching for me. My legs went weak with fear. I backed up a few steps. "Take it, I dash. I don't want so many. I just want one pretty one." Wandering away for a month and then down, in front of me, said coldly to those pale arms, "Keep the prettiest one. The others, get the hell out of here." As the words fell, those hands instantly retracted, leaving only one pale but slender hand. Gently grasped the jade ring. "You're mine now." A cold female voice drilled into my ear, bringing a chilling ghostly aura. Wandering away, I didn't burn one. "Just you. Haven't even gotten to the harbor in 300 years. Stop with the love talk here." That female ghost didn't dare to retort. My little brother said, "Sorry," and then backed away quickly. Finally saw her appearance clearly. Her face was deathly pale. Long snake heart red. Really name can't be. This is the prettiest. What about the others that aren't pretty? How scary would that be? It's a good thing the fairy sisters are here. At this moment, the stage lights came on. Grandpa and Uncle rushed out from backstage. Grandpa looked and saw that Yuan was gone. He breathed a sigh of relief. It's done. The ghost bride took the betrothal gifts. When the ugly thing arrives, they'll send me into the ice room. I found that Sister Willow Fairy suddenly disappeared. I anxiously asked them, "Where did that sister just go?" Grandpa and Uncle looked surprised and said, "What sister? From beginning to end, it was just you." What exactly happened? I told them everything about the things that happened. Uncle's expression changed drastically. That firefly is about 80% of it. It was painted by the snake demon. She first scared away the female ghost. She took the jade ring. She wants to monopolize you. Slowly drain your young memory. I don't believe it. Muttering, "Impossible. She saved me. How could she harm me?" Forget it. Since she accepted the betrothal gifts, maybe she really wants to marry you. Whether she's a ghost or a demon, try tonight. Go to the side room. I entered the bedroom with trepidation. Sitting on the bed, my heart was filled with the image of Firefly. She is so beautiful. Even if it means death, I accept it. But I waited from the time of Z to the time of Cho. There was still no movement in the room. I'm a little anxious. Could it be that the person who took my jade ring wasn't Lu Luoli? I was just thinking about it when Grandpa suddenly burst in. She looked at me still sitting alone on the bed. Her tone said, "This snake demon is here to collect the betrothal gift. It looks like he wants to slowly wear you down." Before she could finish speaking, her phone rang. Uncle Tu's voice came from the phone. "Quick, take me away." Sabatsi's car went over the cliff. It was those female ghosts from Fentushan Mountain who did it. They feel like they were tricked. They've gone mad. They'll be looking for you soon. Grandpa panicked. She pulled off the talisman on me, dragging me She ran outside. I stubbornly shook my head. Lu Luoli will come to save me. She's a fairy. I won't let the ghost burn me. Holding his breath, he raised his hand to hit. Just then, Luoli's voice sounded from outside the door. She's right. I won't let anyone hurt her. The door opened. Her demonic figure appeared in the moonlight. So beautiful it was unbelievable. I dodged Grandpa and dove into her arms, holding her tightly. Grandpa was stunned. The attack arrived. Great Immortal, it was my grandson who offended you back then. But 6 people have already died. The package should be enough, right? I don't know why the Great Immortal is still bothering her. Luoli smiled faintly, pulled me tightly into her arms, saying, Old man, you must have misunderstood. Your grandson saved this little woman. This little woman promises. You are committed to me. Why would I harm her? I asked, looking up. Sis, those 6 people, you didn't kill them, right? Luoli touched my head, smiling. I didn't kill those 6 people. They just beat to death the other 2 snakes, who were in the same belly as me, cursed by the Zero Snake. They will surely die in 7 years. I also wanted to save them, but I was powerless. Grandpa finally believed it. He said with guilt, so that's how it is. Then this time I conceived a ghost child. It has brought hatred and confusion. Luoli bit his head and said, It's not like that. I just looked at her birth chart. Her life is extremely een. There will definitely be a ghost disaster. There's no running away. Grandpa sighed, until it was too late. But the next second, Luoli was looking at me, her eyes locked on mine. She said gently, Little husband, don't worry. Yes, that little husband made me blush and my heart race. I lowered my head and reluctantly agreed. Okay, I'll listen to you. Then, Luoli took my hand and walked to Grandpa. Grandpa seemed to understand what Luoli wanted to do. He asked nervously, Are you really going to be with this kid? Luoli nodded. She said, The time for the name marriage has passed. You should understand. This is the only way to save her. Besides, since this humble woman accepted the jade pendant, I should stay with her, right? I realized then that Lu Luoli had put the jade ring on her hand. But this way, it'll drain your Tao energy, 6th lady. Those female ghosts will definitely not let you go. Lu Luoli shook her head, saying, I can't worry about that anymore. Next, I asked the old man to step back. Grandpa bowed, turned and left. Lu Luoli waved her hand, sealing the door shut. Then he looked at me and gave a slight laugh. Young master, are you ready? Next, we're going to the bridal chamber. I blushed and my heart raced, nodding. It echoed in my mind, her gentle words just now. Her fragrance got closer and closer. I closed my eyes nervously. Her magical power felt like a warm current, flowing into my body. The coldness dissipated completely. It felt like I was reborn. After 3 seconds, she had put her clothes back on. The wind outside was not good. Many hands appeared outside the window. She kissed my forehead and said to me, Stay in the room, be a good boy. Don't go out. After saying that, her figure transformed into a green light. She pushed open the door and went out. Then she slammed the door shut. In an instant, my ears rang loudly. I felt like I was deaf. I couldn't hear any sound. A nameless dread washed over me. My heart raced. My throat was dry. I rushed to the crack in the door to look outside. In the yard, Grandpa and Uncle Tu had already been pinned to the ground by 2 fearsome female ghosts, unable to move. The air was filled with a chilling, ghostly aura. In the very center, Lu Luoli was fighting a dozen female ghosts all alone. She was already lightly stained with blood. With a light wave of her hand, she repelled one after another. Her figure was as agile as a snake. Each attack carried the cold light of spiritual energy. A female ghost pounced on her. She dodged to the side, and with a backhand, that female ghost screamed and turned into black smoke, disappearing. But soon, another female ghost attacked from behind, tearing her sleeve. Blood splattered. She muttered a spell. A white light barrier protected Grandpa and Uncle Tu, but in the end they were outnumbered. The bloodstains on her body increased. Tiny snake waist. Really think you're a fairy? Hurry up, let's do something good. Tonight, we'll torment you well. Let you experience what it's like to wish you were dead. Countless ghosts rushed towards Lu Luoli. My eyes turned red. We yelled but couldn't smash it open. The door seemed to be forbidden by Lu Luoli. Suddenly, I heard the sound of the window breaking. An ice-cold ghost hand patted my shoulder from behind. I turned around and saw a grisly ghost face close at hand. A long tongue reached out. I was scared and leaned tightly against the door. Closed my eyes. The next moment, I smelled a familiar fragrance. Lu Luoli, covered in blood, flew in through the window. She slapped that ghost away, protecting me in the corner. The ghosts swarmed over. They lunged at Lu Luoli. She turned, watching my face, panting. Don't be afraid. I'm here. No one can hurt you. After saying that, she gently stroked my face. My vision went black, and I fell asleep. In a daze, I seemed to hear the name Rong Ning. When I woke up again, it was already the next day. The sun was high in the sky. Grandpa and my second uncle were sitting by the bed. Both were smoking. The room was filled with smoke. The atmosphere was oppressive, making it hard to breathe. I sat up abruptly. Ignoring the pain in my body, I opened my mouth and asked, "Grandpa, where's Lu Luali?" Grandpa didn't say anything, just looked down. The lake nearby shook its head first. The sword pierced my heart like a knife. "She is gone." My voice trembled. Tears welled up instantly. Grandpa sighed, didn't say anything, but that night, she seemed to be hunched over even more severely. Looking at Grandpa and my second uncle's expressions, I wiped my eyes, rolled over and got out of bed, walking out of the room. The yard was a mess. The ground was covered in charred marks. Scattered in the mud were countless green spirit pieces stained with blood. Besides these, the yard was empty. Nothing else was there. I knelt in the muddy ground. Like a madman, I picked up those spirit pieces. My hands were cut and bleeding. I felt nothing. My uncle came over. You grabbed my wrist tightly and pulled me up. I was about to speak, but Grandpa let go. My uncle sighed. He let go, letting me continue picking up the spirit fragments. After gathering all the spirit fragments, I looked up, looking at Grandpa. "Grandpa, I want to marry her." My uncle was stunned. "Grandpa will take care of it." Grandpa and my uncle took me to the west corner of the yard and built a mound. There were no bones. We put those blood-stained spirit fragments, along with the blood-stained green skirt she wore, and buried them together. In front of the mound stood a brand new wooden plaque. On it, I bit my finger. The tomb of the mourning wife, separated and abandoned. In front of the wooden plaque was a censer, and arranged the offerings he might have liked in his lifetime. I knelt before the grave, and wept again uncontrollably. This crying lasted for nearly an hour. Finally, I collapsed from exhaustion. I said weakly, "Grandpa, I want to marry him. Is that okay?" "Okay." Grandpa brought over a pair of red candles, and lit them on the grave. He also brought a wine pot and 2 cups, and filled them with homemade liquor. He poured one of the cups onto the jade ring in front of the grave, then gave the other cup to me. I took the cup and drank it all down. The strong, spicy liquor made my eyes water. This was the first time I had ever drunk alcohol. Grandpa handed me the jade ring. He patted my shoulder. His voice was hoarse. "The east sees the sunrise, the west sees the rain," saying it's heartless, yet there is affection. He felt deeply for you. You better not let me down. I nodded. My throat choked. I couldn't speak. I put the jade ring on my chest. The moment the jade ring touched my chest, I was shocked. That originally cold jade ring, it was actually slightly warm, like a wisp of anxious exploration. It went straight into my heart. That feeling, it was like it used to turn into a little snake and hide in my arms. "Luoli," I whispered, but the jade ring was only warm. There was no other reaction. After that day, I was like a lost soul. I helped Grandpa during the day. At night, I sat in front of Lu Luali's grave. I would sit for half the night. I always carried the jade ring with me. I held it in my hand when I slept. My body became extraordinarily strong. I never got sick again. Even more amazing was that my eyes changed. As long as I concentrated, I could see things that ordinary people couldn't. My uncle said that it was Lu Luali's fairy energy that had opened up my spiritual aperture, opening my eyes to the world of spirits. Although I could occasionally hear the low weeping of those lonely ghosts, I was never afraid, because whenever something unclean got close, the jade ring on my chest would heat up, driving those things away. Later, I was admitted to a university in the provincial capital, becoming the only college student in the village. During the summer vacation of my senior year, I received a phone call from the village, saying that my grandfather was dying. I rushed back right away. I pushed open the door, and saw my grandfather lying in bed, his face sallow, his breath like a wisp of smoke, his whole body emaciated. My second uncle was right there. He shook his head at me. I quickly sat down by the bed. I held his withered hand. He struggled to open his eyes. When he saw it was me, a glimmer of spirit suddenly burst from his formerly cloudy eyes. "Grandpa, I'll take you to the hospital." I cried and wanted to carry him. Grandpa shook his head. He held my hand tightly. "I'm not going. The time has come. I have something to tell you." He coughed violently a few times. His eyes became clear. He stared at the jade ring on my chest. "Grandpa actually lied to you all along. Miss Lu is not dead." I stood up abruptly, my eyes reddening. "What did you say?" She's not dead. He didn't die." Grandpa gave a wry smile. He gasped, saying, "That night, when he was stranded and almost killed by the female ghost, Grandpa used 10 years of his life, and these eyes, to make a deal with a passing yokai. He traded for a wisp of his soul." I was shocked then, that although Grandpa's eyes were open, his pupils had long since scattered. So, for the past 3 years he'd been fumbling through life in darkness. Grandpa trembled, pointing to my chest. "Actually, for these 3 years, he's been with you in the jade ring on your chest." The next second, the jade ring slowly warmed up. A wave of warmth spread from my palm to my whole body. My tears instantly broke the dam. I knelt before Grandpa's bed. "Grandpa, thank you. It's your unfilial grandson." Grandpa smiled with satisfaction. Child, the time is almost up. You need to hurry to 1000 Soul Street in the provincial capital. Number 4 in the 4th block. Look for a shop called Long Life Coffin. That's your third uncle's place. He knows how to reshape a spirit. Go now. Don't keep the 6th lady waiting. After saying this, Grandpa's hand slowly fell. A faint smile still played on his face. He just left. Suddenly, a heavy rain started outside the window. Thunder rumbled. I cried my heart out. After handling Grandpa's funeral, I didn't go back to school. I went straight for my suitcase. With Yu Huan hanging on my chest, I headed straight for the provincial capital. It was already evening when I arrived in the provincial capital. I hailed a taxi. I handed the driver the address to look at. Master, go to number 4, 4th block, 1000 Soul Street. That driver was a man in his 40s. The moment he heard the place name, his face instantly changed. 1000 Soul Street. What are you doing going there so late at night? Looking for relatives. I have money. I took out the bills hidden in my pocket. The driver waved his hands repeatedly. No, I won't go no matter how much you pay. That place is really spooky. You should get another car. After saying that, he hit the gas and drove away. I hailed 3 more cars in a row. The moment they heard the words, 1000 Soul Street, they all drove off. I had to walk, asking for directions along the way. I arrived at a dark, old street. I stood at the intersection, looking up. The streetlights on both sides were dim and yellow, flickering. The street was eerily silent. I opened my third eye. The shops on both sides of the street were all closed. White lanterns were hanging. In the shadows of the roadside, occasionally I could see a few heels. People with their feet not touching the ground were wandering around, and some blurry black shadows, chattering under the eaves. I just stepped in. Those things seemed to have smelled the scent. A pair of greedy green eyes, staring at me intently. Whoosh! A cold wind suddenly arose. Several black shadows couldn't restrain themselves. They clawed and pounced on me. My feet, I didn't stop my steps. I reached out and pressed my chest. The jade ring shook violently. A red light spread out like ripples. Those black shadows screamed and flew backward. The remaining black shadows froze. Didn't dare get any closer. I had a cold face. I went all the way to the street camera without any obstructions. Stopped in front of a shop, hanging the signboard of Chongqing Temple. The door was closed tightly. Faint yellow candlelight shone from inside. Pushed the door and went in. The scent of sandalwood hit my nose. In the middle of the shop there was a coffin as red as blood. Behind the coffin sat a middle-aged man wearing a Zhongshan suit. A knife scar across his face. Was carving wood. We're closed. The man didn't even raise his head. Third uncle. It's me. The carving knife in the man's hand stopped. Raised his head and stared at me. His gaze finally fell on my chest. The old man. He's gone. He asked. He spoke calmly, his tone devoid of any hint of sorrow or joy. He left. I lowered my head. My eyes started to feel a bit sore. Grandpa told me to come find you. Said you could save my wife. Easier said than done. Everything comes with a price. Uncle 3 put down his carving knife. He stood up. His body, as he walked back to the room, came in front of me. Your snake wife only has a wisp of a soul left. The old man used 10 years of his life to keep her from fading away. That was already the limit. Why do you think you can save her? Grandpa could. I can too. I'm not afraid of death. Lots of people say they're not afraid of death. Uncle 3 pointed to the small door behind the red coffin. That's the morgue. They just took in a woman who choked to death tonight. Her resentment is strong. You go in and sleep with her for a night. You scared? I am. I touched the jade pendant on my chest. Walked into the morgue. The morgue was cold like an ice cellar. In the center there was a thin-skinned coffin without a lid. I went over and looked. Inside lay a female corpse wearing a red dress. Her face was deathly pale, but her lips were blood red. I found a corner to sit down in, holding the jade pendant tightly. Didn't even dare to breathe loudly. It went on like this for a long time. Suddenly a creaking sound came from the coffin. I lowered my head, pretending not to hear it. The sound suddenly disappeared. I couldn't help but look up. I glanced at the coffin, found a pale hand slowly, grabbed the eye of the coffin. The next second, the female corpse sat up straight. She turned her head. Her neck made a cracking sound. Her eyes stared at me. She smiled at me, saying, "Little brother, are you lonely?" She climbed out of the coffin. Her red skirt slipped. She walked towards me step by step. The smell was strong. She came in front of me. Her cold fingers touched my face. Her breath was like orchids. What a nice smell. You are mine tonight. I slowly opened my eyes. My eyes were clear as water. Get away. My anger suppressed my fear. I have a confidant. Don't touch me. The female corpse's movement stiffened. The look of seduction vanished instantly from her face. Her eyes turned sinister. Humph, you don't know when to quit, but it doesn't matter. I'll do it myself. She let out a shrill laugh, and thrust her palm toward my heart. I closed my eyes, clutching the jade ring tightly. Just as her palm was about to touch me, the lights suddenly came on. The female corpse's movements froze instantly, then turned into a puff of green smoke. and burrowed back into the coffin. Uncle San pushed the door open and tossed me a black and green ladder. Go to the Himalayas. Get ready to work. I'll take this job. Over the next few days, I stayed at the shop and helped Uncle San. Uncle San told me, if you want to save Lu Luali, you must go to a place deep within the Qingling Mountains, the tomb of the Queen Mother of the West. That's the legendary location of the dragon painting pool. Only the dragon vein energy there can help her reshape her body. But that place is extremely dangerous. She also needs to find a scapegoat and a sugar daddy. She's already released the news. Someone will bite soon. At noon on the third day, a black Maybach stopped in front of the coffin shop. The car door opened. A young woman stepped out, wearing a red, deeply cut dress. This woman is extremely beautiful. She has a hot figure. She exudes an air of wealth. But when she entered the door, the temperature in the shop seemed to drop a few degrees. Excuse me, is this shop run by Third Master Qin? The woman's voice was sweet and cloying. Uncle San wiped the Luoyang shovel. Without raising his head, the woman wasn't bothered. She put a black card on the table. I'm going to Dragonfall Valley to find something. A down payment of $1 million. Another $5 million if it works out. Third uncle paused. He looked up at her. I couldn't help but look at her a couple of times too. This woman, although beautiful, gave me a very uncomfortable feeling, like being watched by a venomous snake. Just then, the woman turned her head. Her eyes landed on me. Her eyes lit up. She walked in front of me. She reached out a hand with red nail polish. She wanted to touch my face. Oh, this little brother is really handsome. This pure yang energy is really making me crave. Before her fingers touched me, the jade ring on my chest suddenly became scorching hot. I instinctively took a step back. I dodged her hand. Uncle San suddenly slapped a sheep's intestine on the table, coldly said, all right, I'll take this job. But there's a condition. You can bring at most one person. The woman retracted her hand. Her eyes met her mouth. All right, then it's settled. My name is Lin Meng. After she finished speaking, she gave me a meaningful look. She turned and walked out, swaying her waist, looking at her back. I asked Uncle San, something's not right about all this. Uncle San snorted coldly. Of course it's not right. She's not even human. Then you still dare to take her job? I was shocked. My uncle blew out a smoke ring. Evil eyes, menacing. The two of us aren't enough. Who's eating whom exactly? Still hard to say. 3 days later, our group entered the Qingling Mountains. Lin Meng only brought one hulking bodyguard, but this bodyguard's eyes glazed over as soon as he entered the mountains. He was clearly affected by the negative energy in these mountains. My eyes felt cold and piercing. The walls were covered in bas-reliefs. They depicted the Queen Mother of the West and mythical beasts. The further we went, the more humid the air became. Carried a sweet, cloying fragrance. Hold it. My uncle gave me a pill. This is the scent of wet, fragrant jade. Breathing too much of it can cause hallucinations. At that point, even the gods can't save you. We bypassed several consecutive trap mechanisms. Finally, we entered the main wooden chamber. The wooden chamber was enormous. In the center, there was a white jade altar. On top of it, a huge stone carving of a white dragon was coiled. Those two pearls, emitting fragrance, shimmered with a ghostly light, as if they were watching the intruders. Around the altar, a few wisps of red sand drifted. Faintly, a woman's giggling could be heard. Wait, Uncle 3 suddenly reached out and stopped me, his gaze fixed on Lin Meng, a sneer playing on his lips. Miss Lin, the thing you're looking for is in that dragon's mouth, please. As expected of Third Master Chun, he saw right through it. Lin Meng, who had been following behind, suddenly giggled and stopped her steps. Her sweet voice became cold and sinister, like a curse. The feng shui of this place is a dragon trapping formation. The dragon's mouth is filled with cold killing intent. Touch it and you die instantly. To make the dragon's mouth loosen, you must first feed its killing intent. I know you won't fall for it so easily. That's why I specifically sought him out. As soon as the words were spoken, his figure suddenly appeared behind Bao Biao. He closed his mouth and bit Bao Biao's neck. Bao Biao didn't even have time to scream. His body instantly shriveled. He turned into a dry corpse and was thrown towards the altar. Whoosh! The stone dragon on the altar seemed to come alive for a moment. It opened its mouth and sucked up the blood and energy of the dry corpse. The originally closed dragon's mouth slowly loosened. It spat out a golden pearl. That was the dragon pearl. Humph, I knew you weren't up to any good. Uncle San reacted extremely quickly. Almost at the moment Lin Meng made her move, he turned around and pulled out a black pill. He fiercely stuffed it into the mouth of Bao Biao's newly tried corpse. Then, he flicked the end-fighting rope in his hand. It wrapped around Lin Meng's neck like steel wire. Child's play. Lin Meng's eyes were clear and cold. A ball of red mist suddenly burst out behind her. 3 fluffy red tails appeared out of thin air. They whipped the end-fighting rope like steel whips. Crack! The final immortal inch by inch shattered. Uncle 3 groaned. His whole body was sent flying. He slammed heavily into the stone wall. A mouthful of blood spurted out. Uncle 3. Fire was shocked and lost color. He wanted to rush over. Something's wrong. He's not an ordinary demon. Run. He wants you. Uncle 3 struggled to stand up, but Lingming's tail slammed him firmly into the ground. Unable to move. Run. Where to run? Lingming's writhing demonic body, step by step, toward the altar. The greed in his eyes was no longer concealed. The dragon chi in this dragon transformation pool has accumulated for 1,000 years. It's the key to my becoming a 9-tailed celestial fox. What a pity. This dragon energy is too overpowering. I'll explode. Mid-sentence, he turned around, those mesmerizing eyes staring at me. Little brother, for this huge opportunity, big sister, have been looking for someone with such a strongly based fate for a long time. With you as the ingredient, I'll be all set. His red shadow flashed, instantly in front of me. A strong scent hit me. I wanted to fight back, but found my body was like it was under a spell, frozen, unable to move. Ling Meng wrapped herself around me, her red lips close to my neck, greedily taking a breath. Be my cauldron. Help me become a celestial being. Sister won't let you suffer. I won't snitch. My heart nearly leaped out of my chest. He slowly leaned in towards the back of my neck, and gently sucked. I felt my spiritual energy rapidly draining away. My consciousness began to blur. Just as I was about to collapse, the jade ring on my chest suddenly erupted with a blazing heat unlike anything I'd ever felt. Get away. A voice, filled with fury, exploded within the pastor's quarters. A dazzling blue light shot out from the jade ring. Instantly, it knocked away the spirit serpent that was wrapped around me. As the blue light dissipated, a stunning figure hovered in midair. She was dressed in a dark, ink-colored gown, her long hair flowing in the wind, and spiritual light swirling around her. Although her form was still somewhat ethereal, the air of looking down on the world made the atmosphere of the pastor's quarters seem to solidify. It was Lu Luoli. Moved my father, asking for it. Willow Luoli's eyes were cold, staring fixedly at Ling Meng on the ground. Her voice was full of hoarseness. Ling Meng got up from the ground, wiped the blood from the corner of her mouth. A trace of apprehension flashed in her eyes, and then sneered. Oh, so it was that dead snake trying to become a dragon. Even if only a wisp of remnant soul dares to come out and show off. Exactly. I'll swallow your remnant soul. Then I'll be one step closer to the celestial fox. Willow Luoli didn't speak. She waved her right hand. The clear light condensed into spiritual power, like a blade, shot towards Ling Meng like an arrow. The two female demons stood together in an instant. Damn it, since you want your soul to perish, then I'll fulfill you. Ling Meng saw that the 9 palaces were difficult to overcome. Suddenly, she became fierce, made a circle appear. A huge 3-tailed red fox. It opened its huge mouth, spitting out a stream of red poison, trying to corrode Lu Luoli's soul. Lu Luoli was originally a spirit, most afraid of this kind of filthy poison. Her eyes instantly turned white, her soul dimmed a bit. I was very anxious, shouted loudly, Luoli. Hearing my voice, Lu Luoli looked back at me. A hint of determination flashed in her eyes. He suddenly rushed towards that one in the center of the altar. Stone-carved giant dragon. Husband, let me borrow some of your heart's blood. I held my heart, biting my tongue without hesitation. A mouthful carrying my extreme destiny, and his own life's amazing blood. Everything responded. The dragon soul returns to its place. The dragon's form dispersed, leaving only the dragon spirit returning to its place. The star dragon circled in the sky a few times. It slowly descended. In a soft, colorful light, it transformed back into human form. At this moment, Lu Luoli was more beautiful than 3 years ago. His skin was like snow. There was an additional red dragon mark on his brow. He was so beautiful that people dared not look directly at him. Luoli, my father, Zhuang, ran over. He hugged him tightly. Tears couldn't stop flowing. You're back. You're really back. He reached out, gently wiped the tears from my face. His voice choked. Fool. I've always been here. He glanced at his third uncle who was on the side. Suddenly, 2 blushes appeared on his face. His breathing became rapid. His eyes started to glaze over. Oh, the dragon energy in this dragon transformation pool is too strong. I just reformed my body. I'm a little unable to handle it. I was stunned for a moment. Then I saw his skin flush red. His body was burning up scarily hot. Then, what do we do? My throat was dry. My heart was pounding like thunder. Lu Luoli bit her lip. She leaned in close to my ear. Her breath was like orchids. You fool. Of course, it's yin and yang harmony to stabilize my realm. You said you'd marry me back then. But we only went through the ceremony. The rest, I need to be compensated. But Uncle 3, oh dear, he just passed out. He'll wake up any minute. Take advantage of now. Just like this. We're deep inside the ancient tomb. We finally finished the wedding. The remaining procedures are bound to happen, because he was in my arms. He took off the jade ring from my chest, turned into a dragon-patterned ring, and put it on his hand. After Uncle 3 woke up, looking at the two of us, he pursed his lips. It's done. This trip wasn't in vain. Let's go. Let's go home. The moment we walked out of the mountains, Uncle 3 suddenly grabbed me and handed me a tattered family tree. Some things the old man didn't let me say, but now everything is settled. You should know by now. Uncle 3 pointed at the first page of the family tree. There a picture of a dragon-slaying Taoist was drawn. He looks a bit like me without glasses. Our Chun family ancestors were actually dragon slayers. This Kuan dragon setup was set up by your great-grandfather's subordinates. He severed the dragon vein. Although they became rich for 3 generations, they also incurred divine retribution. The male descendants all have extremely lean life charts. They can't live past the age of 12. I felt a chill down my spine. No wonder Grandpa was so strict with me since I was little. No wonder everyone in the village was afraid of me. Lu Luo failed to paint the dragon back then, was actually also injured by the remaining power of this Kuan dragon setup. He could have killed you to break the setup, but he chose the dumbest method. I looked at Lu Luo beside me. He just smiled faintly, held my hand tightly. After returning to Sakura Mountain Village, the first thing I did was to visit Grandpa's grave. What was strange was that the grass on Grandpa's grave had grown into the shape of a dragon. Yu, in a hurry, passed by Ergua Road and glanced at it. He sighed deeply. The debt has been paid off. Old Chun will be able to be reborn with a good life in his next life. No need to be blind and short-lived anymore. Life returned to peace, until the late night 3 months later. I was sleeping soundly, half asleep. I felt a burning sensation in my chest. When I opened my eyes, Lu Wanyang was sitting cross-legged on top of me. Her body was emitting a faint golden light. That dragon-patterned ring that was originally on his hand now evolved into a stream of light and entered his lower abdomen. What's wrong? I jumped up, startled. He pulled my hand through the flowing clouds and pressed it against his lower abdomen. Underneath my palm, powerful rhythm pulsed, accompanied by a clear, resonant dragon's roar. The Chun family's extremely mean fate was broken. His eyes curved. He smiled like a little girl who'd gotten candy. Our child has the true dragon bloodline. That curse that had plagued the Chun family for 100 years is completely lifted. I looked out the window. Stars filled the sky. The painting on the wall of the young man fighting a snake seemed to come alive in the moonlight. Cause and effect, merit is fulfilled.